So just another day, your average day where gold makes new highs, silver makes new highs, not new all-time highs like gold, but basically 44 for me is the level before 50. And we're there. And for me, I saw these little 42, 42 and a half, 43 little areas, but 44 was the last stop before 50. And we were there today. So interesting to see. I mean, we've been overextended for a while, and thankfully, I have not sold much. They've been little trims the whole way, but I don't know. This is a crazy move. Let's go through it slowly. DXY, we had that sort of reverse counterintuitive move, I feel, after the Fed. Yeah, even though it's 25 basis points, which is should be bearish. The dollar went all the way back down to its absolute lows. Of course, it's going to bounce from there. I say, of course, but it was a little obvious, maybe. I still think we go back down and flush. All right, because long term, nothing's changed. It was just a short term counterintuitive move. Gold also took a 1, 2 day dip with the dollar going up for 1 or 2 days and then went back to new highs. Silver, same thing. We went to new highs. I think dollar goes down, flushes. That's what I think. If I'm wrong, then we bounce, but I don't think we bounce too high. We've got the little levels here. But honestly, gold and silver doing their thing without the dollar too much, so I don't want to spend too long on that. Yields also making that move up, right? For me, long-term yields will go all the way up. I feel all the way to touch this again. I don't think gold and silver get too affected by that. Maybe the stock market goes down. I've been noticing the GDX going up with the S&P a little bit, but I think we go up anyway. Uh, but yield's not as important as before. It's like a new paradigm where we've basically been going up no matter what. Famous last words, but this is such a strong bull move. I look at it on a weekly, on the daily. It's really strong. All right. I don't look at the RSI much because for candles, but honestly, there is no history. It's just look at that massive move in weekly. Okay, we just started the week, but that's pretty high. I mean, and I start measuring these, how much these moves are. I don't know. I think we're just going for big numbers now. I think we're going to go for 4,000. I don't know if we're going to get there before a big retracement, a big healthy retracement. All the retracements have been sort of constructive, it's given us the launch pad to go higher. But honestly, for me, gold is, I mean, we had that day on Friday where gold stocks was so strong, so strong, so strong. Like big moves. Barrick's been crazy. We'll take a look at that later. Silver, though, remains king. Now, look, 44. For me, right? That's the last stop before basically 50. And by 50, I mean 49, 49 is probably where I'd start trimming. And my trims, they're just almost non-existent. And I feel arrogant almost just holding on. I mean, wrong word, but just too much of a gamble. I think we go to 50, but today I didn't trim anything. I trimmed a little bit of Barrick and it's just like minimal stuff, 1 or 2%, it's nothing. It's like less than half of what you made in that stock on that day. It's still worth more after the trim than it was at the close yesterday, Friday. But honestly, 50, if not tomorrow, if silver starts to get weak or starts to show resistance, I think I'll do a little trim on the silver stocks and maybe even the gold stocks. Some gold stocks like Agnico, mm, Wheaton, uh, not Newmont. Anyway, I'll take a look in a second. But they were up basically, they weren't up, they were unchanged on a day where gold is up strong, 1.5% or something. That's for me, they're just overextended. And yes, I have ammo to buy the dip, but I just feel like doing the extra clip here, the instead of an absolute light trim, just a 5 to 10% trim. They're worth so much now, the seniors. So yeah, I think I'll trim gold and silver stocks based on the 44 level tomorrow, seeing how silver reacts. But otherwise, when silver makes a run to 50, that's where I'm gonna do my first, if not tomorrow, my first decent trim. Maybe both will be like 5%, so combined 10%. But silver 50, I gotta trim that. That's just, you gotta plant your flag. I was here, I trimmed. And if we got 100, we probably might. We're still gonna retrace first, maybe from 50 to 44, something like that. Like a big, strong defend the 50 zone, new shorts come in, and people like me selling, I just feel like 50, you gotta trade that. And I'm not gonna buy it. I'll sell a little bit what I got. I've got enough. So 44 and 50. All right. And that's kind of what I'm judging where gold will hit its resistance. If it's not 4,000, it might be a big round number, 3,000, 750, 800, 850, 900, 950. But 4,000 is its own level. Let's take a look at GDX. Oh, it's new all-time highs. No point looking. If we retrace, for sure, the Old all-time high, 68-ish is a buy zone, but that's a big retracement and we've already touched it. Look at that. It's so healthy. Close at high of day, right? Gold, silver, I think also we just it's always close at high of day. GDX, I don't know. You know what? I just don't know. I know it's supporters, but we're not going down there yet. GDXJ, that is what I want to judge GDX on. I'm looking at 100, nice number, nice resistance. And that I remember saying that's like 20 something percent away, and now it's 1 day away. It's not even a very strong day. It's a decent day. 5% move in GDXJ, probably a 4% move or 3.5% move in GDX, and you're probably going to hit resistance because of GDXJ. So that's what I'm looking at. I don't know. Do you need silver? We've got silver at 44, so I don't know what that means. Is that like a false breakout in silver or the real thing? If it's the real thing, GDXJ is going to have to go much higher, going to have to go to the next level, 120. Let's see. I can't believe I have to draw lines above 100. It's crazy. 120, I see something there just off the top. And then probably here, but we can wait. SIL, right? Because GDXJ is a bit of a silver one, but these are the real silver ones. Look at that. That's also a little 4% away. We've got some good little resistance points coming up here that coincide. GDX, I don't know because it's beyond help. But SIL and GDXJ have little zones. I see 4%, a little 4% move. It'll be interesting to see where silver is because you can't really stop at 44. SILJ, that made a new all-time high, right? I don't think there's data before then. It's extremely bullish, but it's just vertical. So I'm looking for my first real trim day. The other ones are just such 1 or 2% psychological trims, but I'm looking for 5% and then five, followed by another 5%, like a 10% out. Like I've been here, I've sold this zone, it goes up, cool. I've still got 90% in, and that 90% is worth so much more than 100% ages ago, but I still got a huge amount in. If it comes down, good. I sold my first decent amount at the high, I caught it, and then you've got all these sidelines. All right, Newmont, I just don't want to hold non-stop. It's just it feels a bit strange. I've got enough of a core position to really benefit, like change my life if we do another 100% move next year, between now and the end of next year. Like I'm good. Newmont, close a high of day for me. I'm trimming that. That coincides with a little 3-4% move because that 86 level is the all-time high. Trim that, let the rest go. My rule is at the moment, although I might make an exception with the Kaneko and Wheaton, if you make new all-time highs, remove all the sells. Just sell the absolute next level. So Newmont last sell in place 85.99. Next, I always cover is Barrick. Barrick has been obscene. That is, and it was just such a slow, disappointing. I remember buying this zone. My God, it's just on 100% pretty much in a few months. The level that we're at is not really a level. I think it can keep going. I think we can go to this level. Look at the support here. One, two, three, four. Resistance, one, two, three. I've got a little something at 38 just because of this area, also because of how much of a percentage move it is already. 38, 40, and 42 is basically the levels I've got for Barrick before the all-time high, sort of 56 zone. So this is my heaviest senior besides Pan America, just because Mags merged with it, so it's yeah, it's worth more than the others by far. But otherwise, it's Barrick. Barrick stole the show late out of nowhere. So I've got little trims there, 38, 40, 42, but they're not all going to connect because I still think we hit resistance in 3 or 4%. But if gold runs to 4,000, we definitely are going to be above 44, even though it's going to be more vertical, more ridiculous, overbought, alarm bells. But that's why I've got the little cells there. All right, after that, we've got a Agnico now. For me, a Agnico, because Barrick's been up 7% sort of back to back. But a Agnico, obviously, it had a very nice couple of days there. Actually, I should give it more credit. But just the way it sold off today, whilst everything else closed at highs, right? We closed at lows. GDX closed at high of day. This is tired. And I don't think it's tired because of the recent jump. I think it's tired because of all this non-stop. Just and I feel like there's a bit of a transition, maybe not because of Barrack, but the seniors are just getting more tired, and I think the buck is being passed to the mid tiers. Well, it's already happened, but the seniors are just getting extra tired, at least today. Nico is one example. So I'm looking at things like I Am Gold and Equinox, the other mid tiers I got, and they just more consistently outperforming recently. and obviously silver in the juniors. So the seniors have kind of done their role. I'm still going to have the heaviest holdings in the seniors. Next, is actually the silver. But I'm just sort of what I've done is I've reduced its mode from heavy to just strong, or basically one level lower. So normally I'm allowed like 8K in the seniors, in these big elite seniors, and I just put now 7.25K. I'm just like, you're still just heavier than the others, but you don't get that status of, you know, holding heavy, heavy. So yeah, I'm looking to trim some of those if we go a bit higher. I don't even know if Agnico is going to make a new high, but Agnico is weak. That one I'm looking to definitely trim tomorrow. Let's look at Pan America, which is more of a silver stock at the moment. That's good, but that's finding resistance too, just where it should. That's such a zone. 37.95, 38, just here. It breaks out, goes to 40. So tomorrow, if we've got silver running and GDXJ does its 4% move, maybe that's a level. But if silver's going to run to 50, this goes straight to 50 also. So I'm going to do a little trim on Pan America just because of where it is. I got to respect this long-term resistance. I can't just consider myself a pure technician and ignore this, even though the fundamentally, yeah, that's true, but silver's made a big run already. It's not like we're curling from a big drop. We've done a big move. And a little trim here, a little 5%. I'm thinking 5 or 2.5%. Yeah, like 2.5% here, maybe 2.5% if we break out with silver running. I'll do the all-time high, another 2.5%. So I'm average like 5% sell around 40. That's fine. And then off we run to 50. So I'm starting to think a bit like that. Um, all right, Wheaton, also another one that a bit like Agnico, it just sort of didn't close at low of day, but it's tired. It's not as bad as Agnico Eagle. But yeah, this one also looking to trim because it's just yeah, Franco Nevada, another one, that's it. Franco Nevada and Wheaton, both my elite royalties, my two best royalties, and Agnico, basically three of my six best stocks, the seniors. Just feeling tired. So I'm gonna give it another day because tomorrow I think decides whether silver runs to 50, maybe tomorrow. And also that little extra push in GDXJ, I might try and sell that high of day. I'll try and catch high of day across the board. Metalla, yeah, I would have expected this one to do better. Like it is a royalty, but I still expected it to start running here towards 7 because it's a bit vertical, but it's had a lot of chop, It's like RSI comes down. It's not just a mania. It's like it's been considered and we're going higher with gold. So this one just hold no sells on this one. Iron gold, this is one of the mid tiers that you see 5.5%. Like that's kind of beats the others, maybe not Barrick. And we closed at a level, a little bit, I think it's a little bit of a level, $12. All right, just below, but same thing. Next move is all the way to pre-gap around 1350. And I got a little sell there, 1349 probably, something like that, or 1339. Then the post gap, then we hit the highs of 24, and that's like more than 100% move. And I think you're gonna find it difficult to get these seniors to do 100% move. Um, at least more so than Iron Gold. So I'm starting to favor the mid tiers a bit more. So I might pump them up and push the seniors down. Like just trim a little bit of the seniors, like 5% or something, and then plus 5% in the mid tiers. I think overall you can make more money actually. But super strong close, Equinox, nice. Also looks like it wants to make a new 52-week high. That's only got kind of one level left, the 13 level. After that, we're just gonna run. Like I've got no more cells. I've only got one more cell, and that's the 12.99, and then that's it. That's done really well, but not. I mean, it's overbought, but I don't know. Some of the seniors look even more overbought. B2 Gold compared to the others that hasn't moved too much, but great day, 6%. I've got a little sell at 4.99, then I got nothing. But if it does start to move up, I'll probably sell obvious zones. Look at this $6 support and resistance. Big number, that's obvious. And there's probably a little one there on the way. I think I'm gonna go back to my little trims because it was so overbought. I don't think I'm gonna regret little trims. I've been holding already for ages, and these percentage moves are crazy. I just want to confirm it, confirm, like lock in the victory, confirm the kill. Little trims are a good way of doing that. Harmony, yeah, I thought this would happen. I bought it when it dropped, when everything else was making new highs. Now we've just gone sideways, total breakout. It'd be very difficult to come to break out of 19. There should be a lot of resistance. There's bad news. We've already gone beyond the bad news day. Huge move there on that. Was it Friday? This will find resistance here, but otherwise, if gold goes up, I don't care why you went down, your costs are high. Up you go. The margins are just getting crazy for a lot of them. Aris mining, this one's had difficulty taking out 10. We're at 10. Uh, this one I got the last set at 9.99, and that was my last one. I wanted to remove it, but I saw it had difficulty taking out 10 for a couple of days. And basically, I got filled at 9.99, I believe. Well, yeah, it's at $10. But that's it, no more sales. Now it just goes crazy. I won't sell it until I don't know, until GDX or I don't know. I've got no plans. This is just a hold at the moment. SPSW. This one was looking strong already last week, especially on that Friday close at high of day. We have another good day, close at high of day. Again, this one is on par with the silver stocks. In some case, beats one or two because the move from low threes was, yeah, low threes to fucking tens, man. That's like 3x already. And next stop is 1250, and that's another huge move, 25%. And it could do that in a week. So amazing. I don't know if I trim the high. This is probably worth as much as the mid tiers now. Wow. This is a bit like CD, this one. It just, you look at the value, like, where did that come from? Did I add? And I did add actually on this drop twice, I remember. Now, silver stocks, still my favorite category. First Majestic. Love that I added to this and held a heavy position, even though it didn't go up with the others because it's just a late pop. That retest is nice, and now we're totally clear. And today was the first day for me where I made a serious statement. There was this little breakout, but we retested, with the little Fed day, I think. But now it's like clear back to regular scheduled programming. I've got no, normally I would sell this, by the way, 1150, didn't sell that. Very proud of myself. I'm just going to go for the 14. I've spoken about the 14 level for a while. I remember it. I was in it. I remember it was support. I remember it was resistance. And that is inevitable magnet move. So that's going to be great. That's going to be imminent. That might happen even if silver doesn't move too much. I think we're just repricing First Majestic according to where it should be relative to its peers too, because they moved a lot and this one didn't. Fortuna, I don't like it. I don't like it. I mean, today was good. But this one, I'm gonna sell, right? This move to 950 or maybe 969 or something, just to make sure I get the high. And then I just don't like it. Um, I just don't like it. I don't trust it. So I'll sell this, but I think if I was in almost any other stock, I might do better, medium to long term. This might do a bit well, like it's had a bit of a delayed move, like First Majestic. But I'm trimming that, and if we go higher, this will be the one that I basically trim the most, and I may even close the position and just spread the proceeds, even the ones I own, Heckler CD, not the same day, right? I'd sell it on a day where I think the mine is going to go down the day after, but I'm going to trim this one a bit hard, I think. So that's how I'm going to sell my silver position. I might do it through Fortuna, the weak one. Even though it hasn't gone up as much, I prefer to be in CD on a dip than holding Fortuna on the way down. All right. So Fortuna, I think it still goes up 950. And then as we break out to new all-time highs, I'll trim into it a bit more aggressively than the others. CDE, my absolute favorite. That candle, it's okay. It didn't close up high of day. It didn't do better than First Majestic or EXK. They had real outperforming days, but this thing just goes up every day. It does what it's taught. I mean, it's supposed to go up when silver goes up, and it does. It's just that is probably the most vertical one. That that's really crazy. Next up for me is I think it's 1949 or 1939. I got a trim at 1939. It's light stuff. It was always light stuff, but in the end, you got to do it. And what do? You just hold it till 30. And when it hits 30, you just hold it again. Now you trim into it and you buy the dip aggressively if you really believe in it, like me. So no sell today, I believe, but I'm looking for the 1939 sell. I just continue selling into it. And if it drop, then I buy back into it. But it's starting to be worth the same as the others because it's gone up a little less. I've trimmed. Didn't I trim last week one little bit? And the others have gone up more. So Heckler, yeah, this one hasn't made a new high, but it had a huge move recently. So I respect that. We've also taken out a lot of important long-term horizontals. See, now we're going back to like 20, this is over a decade. So the 2011 high is supposed to be the absolute high, right? That was the best time ever. We've taken that out and we're trading around there. So this 2008 thing, and I think we're going to get there. If silver starts to move to 50, I mean, even forget about 13, it could start going even further out to weird numbers. Yeah. But it still went up with silver, so that's cool. And I think if 44 is the level, then we're just going to hang around here and then go down as silver goes down a little bit. But I still think silver goes to 50 anyway. EXK, fine. Last 2 days, I was checking this. Last 2 days, we went up pretty much almost 30%. That's crazy. That came out of nowhere. But it's now touching resistance, right? And I think I forgot to put my sell in, so I didn't even trim this. I should. In fact, I should do it now after hours, just 779 or something. But this also caught up like First Majestic. Huge day. Next stop, I didn't even check next stop. Uh, yeah, I don't know. Maybe even 1050 or something. But that's a long way away. I think, yeah, you got to watch silver. Silver starts to run to 50. This goes up to beyond 10. Could even go to 1250. That's what these stocks do. Absolutely amazing. All right, and then finally my little three got aftermath, although I'm in the TSX one, but anyway, that started to move. That's why I'm in it, right? I bought it a bit high and it went down and didn't buy it back, but I got a light holding in this. It was just a starter position, but they're all taken off. The juniors, I think I'm a bit too late to the show. I mean, I can't buy a stock when it's up 6%. So I've got this, it's cool, but I wish I had others. Spending all weekend watching and then you're watching silver up before market opens. I just can't do that. This one, Juan Juato, whatever, this is a monster. It's almost on 100% or something. I buy it on here or something. I forgot I got the Canadian price, but pretty much around here on breakout or something. And it's just almost doubled. And it can do a lot more than that. I'm a bit upset I didn't get more of that. And finally, Aya Gold, that one is doing what I expected, which is to break out of here, retest, basically going to hit its high of 19. So a lot of them are doing well. They're closing at high of day. They look like they're going to keep going up, especially if gold and especially if silver goes up. But the seniors, after looking at some of these, the silver stocks, the higher golds, the mid tiers, they're just not performing. Barracks had a crazy run, okay, besides that one, but it should be tired. So I'm looking for a little extra run, that little GDXJ going up 3-4%, and maybe silver breaking out, but who knows how it closes. We could close on a red day. Like that could accomplish both missions. It could accomplish GDXJ going 100 and then silver proving resistance is 44 with one of those horrible end of day, low of day closes. And then we sort of go down, just a healthy breather. So I'm going to try and trade that move up tomorrow and trim even some seniors. I'm thinking about that. Yeah. And then we'll see what happens. Buy the drop. So good luck. Let's see what happens. My strategy ultimately stays the same. Just little trims. When I'm nervous like this, little trims keep me calm.